Cantinho, um violão, este amor, uma canção para fazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita cama para pensar e ter tempo para sonhar. Da janela vê-se o corcovado redentor. Que lindo, quero a vida sempre assim, com você perto de mim até o apagar da meia chama. E eu que era triste, descrente deste mundo, a encontrar você eu conheci. Oh, que felicidade, meu amor, meu amor. Cantinho, um violão, este amor, uma canção, a prazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita cama para pensar e ter tempo para sonhar. Da janela vê-se o corcovado redentor. Que lindo, quero a vida sempre assim, com você perto de mim até o apagar na meia chama. E eu que era triste, descrente deste mundo, a encontrar você eu conheci. Oh, que felicidade, meu amor, meu amor. Sou muito feliz de encontrar você, mirando o corcovado, meu amor.
This is a Sanskrit poem. So please take a deep breath with me. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lies all the realities and verities of existence, the bliss of growth, the splendor of action, the glory of power. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day, and so it is.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do, nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people living in this world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I know that I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. The world will be, this world will be a wonderful world. This world will be. This world will be as one. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. And thank you, Kaywood, and this congregation, Unity Center DC, for inviting me to speak today. Words can build you up. Words can break you down, start a fire in your heart, or put it out. Let my words be life. Let my words be truth. These are some of the words from a song by Hawk Nelson, a Christian rock group, with their song Words. Words truly can build us up or break us down. The words we use in our lives especially can create the world we live in. At times I've said to myself, I can't do this, I'm overweight, or I don't have a memory for names, or I'm nervous, I'm tired. And I can also have times where I've said, I'm joyful, I'm beautiful, I am the light of the world. All these experiences create our lives because we said it. Words build us up or they can break us down. Before we get into this talk, let's have a reminder of one of the spiritual powers from Charles Fillmore, our Unity co-founder, and it's the power of power. Power is the power behind the spoken word. And it is often said there is power in words, and we have that power. It first is internal as an idea, and we express that idea by the words we say. I also want to remind you of another term, consciousness. My definition is the filter of the human mind to make sense of what comes from the divine mind. Let me repeat that. The human mind filters the ideas of the divine mind, and that in the nutshell is consciousness. All the ideas that are generated come from this vast pool from divine mind, and there are billions of possibilities. We can access it by having an idea, and then we have the choice to express it. Now let's take an example of how our thoughts and our ideas can create our experience. Recently, I listened to a Super Soul podcast, and Oprah Winfrey's guest was Bishop T.D. Jakes. And in the podcast, a 56-year-old woman started to tell her story, and this is what I heard. I'm old, she said. I'm unemployed, she said. I'm not needed, she said. And because I'm old and a woman, I have no opportunities. The bishop made this observation. He said, this is your narrative. You created this. I rebuke that. Rebuke means to have a stern disapproval, but I thought that was kind of harsh. And I found a word in the thesaurus that I liked better, and that's refusal. And let's change this up and say, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that narrative. I rebuke that. Words have power, and this became her consciousness. She used her human consciousness to build a story that became her life. By her words she was affirming the very thing she didn't want in her life. She created a prayer, a narrative. She was using the spiritual law to her detriment, the law of attraction, which says, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. She attracted unemployment and no opportunities because she kept on affirming. Let's realize this. Create the environment creates the effect. This is cause and effect. The cause are the words, the beliefs, and the thoughts. She was living unemployment and no opportunities, the effect. The bishop was not having it. I do not know if he truly understood this universal principle, but he created a denial. I rebuke that. I refuse to believe this is your plight. She needed a recharge, a clearing out. And what I'm getting is affirmations and denials. This is our toolbox. When a negative thought comes and it's ready to corrupt you when you're thinking you are less than, you must sweep it away with a denial and affirm something new. Words can easily create the narratives in our lives, and all too soon a storm comes and creates a negative narrative. However, we don't need to fall into this trap. Our words can be life, our words can be truth instead of this negative narrative. It brings me to a gospel story, Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 39, and I'll summarize and read verse 39 from the New Revised Standard Version. Jesus is on the boat resting after a day of preaching, and a great storm comes, and the disciples call Jesus up because they believe the boat is on the verge of sinking, and the disciples are frightened and alarmed. And verse 39 says, he woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, peace, be still. Then the wind ceased and there was a dead calm. So let's interpret this a little bit metaphysically. What does it mean when we dive into an inner truth of message, and how can we apply it to our lives? The storm represents all the emotions, thoughts, words in our lives that can shake us. And the disciples get panicked and upset. We can change the narrative with what Jesus did. We can summon peace. Jesus was teaching us here, we have the power within us just by the words we use. He said, peace, be still, and the storm passed. The storm did not overtake Jesus because he first denied the storm and he reaffirmed peace. The storms in our lives start with words, thoughts, and beliefs. They create our life experience. And in my own experience, I've allowed others' beliefs to become my own beliefs by buying into the words of others. As a young person, we're taught by our elders, and our parents are probably our most important people in our lives. And as a young, impressionable child, being raised in both the Roman Catholic tradition, I had some beliefs that I created in my own life. And I always say to people, the first 20 years of your life, you learn, and the next 60, you unlearn the first 20. And so when I was young, I was raised Roman Catholic and taught gay was immoral. As I became a young adult and realized I was gay, I was conflicted. It became a storm. And for my own sanity, I had to change my beliefs and my thoughts. I had the idea God did not love me, and I stepped away from organized religion, and I started to develop a new belief system. I still believed in God, but I had to put God aside. Now, in truth, God is always around. There's no place where God is not. However, I had to change my belief system. I had to change the belief I was immoral and corrupt. I had to change that narrative, and I had to rebuke that belief. But how? The answer came to me in music. The artist that inspired me the most in my coming out days was Diana Ross. Now, way before I even accepted I was gay, I had an affinity towards Diana Ross's music. I remember it was 1984, and I bought my first CD player from Radio Shack, and I truly loved that CD player. And the first two CDs that I bought were Diana Ross's Greatest Hits and Madonna's Like a Virgin. If that didn't tell you I was gay, nothing else would. But the point I want to make was Diana's music was like an affirmative prayer for me. Lyrics like, or play it safe, for a while that was easy. I've given up the truth for those I tried to please. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Or it's time for me to break out of my shell. I have to shout, I am coming out. Now sing these songs over and over again and tell me they're not prayers or treatments for your soul in your struggle for authenticity, how they can shape your thoughts and reshape your belief. Those words have power, and something as mundane as that can transform your life. It did mine. I probably listened to that CD 8 straight years. It treated my mind, and it gave me a recalibration so that I could seek the God of my understanding. It's the words I used over and over again through those songs that brought me through the storm of coming out. As we see in these examples I gave, words can bring us up or bring us down. So what tools can we use for the storms in our life? And I gave you one, which are the affirmations and denials, and such as the power of power. But there's another one called the beat system that was made famous by Jackie Woodside. And BEAT stands for beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and thoughts. And we can use beat as a way to check in what is happening in our consciousness. Because as I described about our consciousness, as we think and believe, what attitudes and emotions we have is the state of the consciousness you're in. The problem is many of us, including me, are not conscious of our consciousness. We go around in our lives full steam ahead and not stopping to say, how's my consciousness right now? Can I change my thought? Can I change my attitude? So let's go back to that 56-year-old woman with the beat tool. Remember, belief, emotions, attitude, and thought. Her belief was a victim of circumstance. I'm old and I have no opportunity. That was a belief. Her emotion, she put on sadness and depression. Her attitude, I would say the attitude of hopelessness, this hopeless situation. And thought, I am old and I am not needed. Now let's see how we can change that with the beat system. Belief, I'm a child of God and I have abundant opportunities. Christ consciousness, not victim consciousness. Emotion, I am joyful. Attitude, faithful knowing. Thought, all will be provided to me in the right and perfect time. Brings me to another example of how we can master our thoughts. A fellow minister shared this story. He was at a conference with one of his colleagues, and he had about 20 people with him. And he said to his colleagues, let's go out to dinner and have steak and lobster, and the meal's on me. When they went to the restaurant and the manager said, I'm sorry, the kitchen is closing. The man said, well, I have a party of 20 people and I'm ordering steak and lobster. Well, the manager was like, okay, I can keep the kitchen open. Well, the waitress was not too happy. She copped an attitude. And the man spoke to one of his guests and said, I'm not allowing her attitude to ruin my night with all this wonderful company. She's miserable and I don't have to be. In fact, I'll tip her big. How many of us, including me, would cop an attitude right back? Remember, we have the power. We have the power of our words. We have the power of our thoughts and emotions. We can change our attitude by changing our thoughts. It's our choice. So in summary, what's in our toolbox? Denials and affirmations, affirmative prayer, realization of the power of power and the beat system. See, it's no good just to pose a problem and have no solution. The work in new thought is just that, have a new thought. And as I said before, how many times do we go around with no awareness of what we're doing? Our toolbox is there. As soon as a thought or idea comes to us that we don't like, say, I rebuke that. I refuse to believe this. I refuse to believe I'm too old. I refuse to believe I have no opportunities. Those are strong denials. Now affirm something. I'm powerful. The right opportunity is coming my way. Realize you have the power and choose your words carefully. If a word comes out that is not of your highest good, say cancel, replace the word. Remember, words are powerful, and just as you said a word, you can replace it. If you're in a funk, ask yourself, what consciousness am I in? Am I in the Christ consciousness, or am I in separation or victim consciousness? So remember, words can build you up, words can break you down, start a fire in your heart, or put it out. Let my words be life, let my words be truth. And when words break you down, remember to say, I rebuke that. Let's take a deep breath in and go inside. The Christ in me is awake now. All my thoughts bring clarity to the situation. Bring clarity to who I am. As I breathe in and exhale out, I go behind my physical heart to my sacred heart. And I visualize a doorway into this sacred chamber. And I open it. And an infusion of light encapsulates my whole body, from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, to my shoulder blades, to my fingertips. And I am light. And as I am light, I remind myself of these truths. I am the light of the world. I shine my light wherever I go. I am the light of the world. I shine my light wherever I go. The world may be turbulent, but I am a conduit of peace. The world may be turbulent, but I am a conduit of peace. Love is my essence. I beam my love to whoever I encounter. Love is my essence. I beam my love to all I encounter. I forgive myself. I did the best I could. I let go. I let God. I forgive myself. I did the best that I could. I let go. I let God. And with these words of truth, we will now go into a period of silence. Start to notice your feet, your legs, your hips, your torso. Roll your shoulders and move your head. And when you feel ready, come back to the room.
There's a place that I know where the sycamores grow and daffodils have their fun, where the cares of the day seem to slowly fade away in the glow of the evening sun. Peace when the day is done. If I go there real late, let my mind meditate on everything to be done. If I search deep inside, let my conscience be my guide. Then the answers are sure to come. Don't have to worry none. When you find peace of mind, leave your worries behind. Don't say that it can't be done. With a new point of view, life's true meaning comes to you, and the peace and the freedom that you seek is found. Peace is for everyone. Peace is for everyone. Peace is for
So please join me in a closing prayer. This prayer absolutely goes with today's reading in the Daily Word. It is St. Francis' prayer. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life. And so it is.
We are so blessed here at Unity Center DC for extraordinary speakers, talented musicians who share with us each week their God gift, their message, their inspiration. And for us as recipients, I'd like you to take this moment and be grateful. If you want to express your gratitude by giving a gift to Unity Center DC, it's possible. We'll put up on the screen the options, but you can give online, you can mail a cash or a check to the address you'll see on the screen, so that we can continue this ministry, which has blessed us all. Thank you.